Now then, chaps and chappasses, so I'm going to quickly show you what the screens look like, because someone said, do you look at the charts? On a daily basis, I don't really bother with them, and I'll show you what I can see, so you can pretty much understand what I'm looking at. And when I print screenshots of these, that one's going mad, I'm working on that at the moment. A chart is basically a visual representation of a load of data. So yes, that's what everybody uses, but as with everything in life, I like to challenge that. Do I really need to see a chart to understand the underlying movements? And the answer is no, because we have price action, things going up and down, highs and lows. Well, they're just numbers at the end of the day. And also, before price action, we have human emotion. Am I going to buy? Am I going to sell? Sentiment. So you put all those together, and it's all numbers at the end of the day. So if something is better represented in my eyes than a chart, then all well and good, which is why MJ mentioned about this one, so I created it, and why I've created the displays that I've got, because it's a lot easier to manage rather than looking at a chart or just a load of charts. I can get a very glimpse, especially with this one, at the entire market at once. So here's a quick whistle stop talk, because it's all running at the moment in the background. So let's start with, what should we start with? We'll start with the really boring one. So I don't know whether you can, oh actually, can you just swap these around? Does that work like that? No, it doesn't. Which is that one? So this one here, that one is just showing me on there. If I go back to that one actually for you, so I can talk you through it when there. So these are all the different pipes. So I've got the, oops, I'm about to go off, the 15 minutes, the 30 minute, the 1 hour, 4 hour daily and weekly. This is monitoring. There's 108 subscriptions in there, so that is 18 pairs for each one of those time frames. That is coming down. This is a fire hose that's coming down into the system. This says all systems nominal, which is fine. If this starts to struggle for memory, it will start to try and heal itself and say what it's doing. And then there's just a little JSON readout. This is what's coming down the pipeline at the moment to be put into the system. So the idea behind that is because I can then bring that into the system, and I can attach this to any exchange, whether it be Forex or not, and it comes through here. So that's everything coming down into the system. Once it's down in the system, then we go on to the scanner, which is, you've all seen so many times before, and that's this one here. So this shows us all the setups. Red meaning it's going down, because you might have a 2 down, but it might be going back up on itself. So this gives us an overview of all the strat combos. If there's a money bag there, that means that this is a signal, and then we look over to this side and we see whether it's actionable or not in the continuity. So everyone this afternoon is selling up to the daily, and when we look at the daily, I can see that they're all ones, so that's a tie. That's running an inside day on the majority of them. They're basically a load of shite. Then you'll see this is just a readout for me, so I can see that it's constantly updating itself. And then you'll see down here, again, it's just a readout, just for my benefit. It just goes on to show you what the signals were, so the ID of the signal in the database, what the setup was. So I've got one there, a signal 3, 2 down, 2 up on ETC USDT on the 30 minute. It went in at the 48. It was only a small one, quick scalp, and then there's a chop value there which tells it whether it's going sideways or not. These aren't going sideways, the lower the better. Time frame continuity, everyone was buying all the way up to the daily. We ignore the week on the system that I'm running at the moment on here. So that's a scanner, that's what the scanner does. Aside from that, this is a little extra that I just built in. This is a whole market sentiment scanner. So as you can see, each one of these is we've got the pair, we've got the mini ticker, so we've got the price, then we've got the 1 minute, the 5 minute, 15 minute, all the way up to the monthly. Well, you can only get the monthly, you can't get quarterly or yearly through the APIs, so we only go on to the monthly. And this shows, you know, they're buying on the 1 minute, they're buying on the 5 minute, they're buying on blah, 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 selling. So, you know, when you look at the strat, you look at that, that's not a bad day. That's not a bad day. The 2 hourly and 4 hourly, once they start to come in, but if you have one like this one here, okay, so dot, you look at dot all the way across, right up. Obviously the weekly is going to be down because we've had this awful Chinese event thing going on, dragging the markets down. But when you look at that one, if I looked at dot there, I'd say that was a good buy. That's a good buy. So then I'd have a look. Actually, yeah, and that's laggy, by the way, because I am working on that at the moment. And dot has been a good buy this morning. So what happens when the signals go out from down here, which is scanner picks a signal up, finds that it's actionable. There you go, boom, one's just happened there. So we have BCH, I just went full time frame continuity then, and there was a signal there. Whether or not that takes it or not, I don't know. So once this signal happens here, then what happens is, and I am debugging this, which is why it's flashing like mad, as you see here. It tells me whether it was a long or a short, the position ID, so I can look in the database for it, what the signal ID was, what its entry, and what its actual entry is, because I'm using market orders. So I'm not interested on limits. This is all about making money. I'm not fanning about putting limits on. Bang that market order in, get it on, work out the stops once it's on there, and just ride that bitch. So, and then what happens once that's done and the order is on, then it hands over to a trade overwatch system. Now, the trade overwatch system is the very last, next to last thing that happens in the background. And this system runs the trailing stops. So, as you will see from here, let's see if I can get this on here. So you see from here, these are the mark prices. So they're the pairs that he's monitoring and trading with. These are the mark prices that are on there. And then, as you will see across here, it tells me what my signal is, my position, what pair it is, what the entry was, what the stop is, what the take profits are, how much the take profit percentage is. So how much, 5.9% profit in that one, just on TP2 if we ride it out. In the progress, it tells me whether the stop loss is active or not, or whether the trade has been cancelled, or whether and how much profit was in it. And then the very end column is just the profits, so it'll say how much. I think we've had 7 or 8% with the biggest profit this morning so far on the trades. So at the moment there's 20 odd trades open. The little window up below was just a readout of all the shite in the background, and then right at the bottom is just a progress bar, which shows me my daily profit. So I target myself every single day using the system to do a certain amount of profit per day. It's only small, but it's compound, so it's a percentage profit of the total account. So if I'm going to do, say if I've got 100 grand in the account, then if I'm going to do 10%, then it's going to be 10 grand for the day, and that'll be 10% of that 100. So it just works out simple. And I always go off percentages because then I'd get away from the human emotion of things, because as it grows and makes more money, you have to then get your head around, rather than being stopped out at 0.5%, which used to, right back when I first started, used to be like 50 cents. We're getting stopped out at thousands. So to remove that, I just use a percentage. It's quite simple. And that's it. That's the system. And then, of course, you've got my coding screen because I'm doing stuff, and Twitter. That's it. happy days. Hope you're all having a good one. That was a quick overview of what's going on. Ooh, Waves has just gone upside, and that has been a good one, and it looks like a good one on there too. Get in. Catch you all soon. Bye.